Now we're going to go over project change orders. First, I'm going to go through the creating a purchase order and then creating a purchase change order on the original purchase order. This will show you the ability to create approval workflows, such as having a project manager approve those change orders. And then we'll go look at having change orders on a contract or an order entry transaction, and then the new job change management that's available in Intacct. So a change is a change management document that addresses any change in the project scope. So this could change the cost, what the details of what needs to happen, what materials need to be ordered, when it can expected to be reached, or to update the project completion date. So first, we're going to go ahead and record a commitment. This is the standard UI in Intacct to create a transaction. So we would populate a job, a vendor, any of the dimensions that you want to populate. One of the best features of Intacct is the ability to create customizations. So we can always edit the entries layout and bring in any type of custom fields or dimensions that are pertinent to this specific transaction. So if I wanted to bring in the customer or anything other than what we see up here, we would just drag and drop and we can bring it into the entry screen above. Otherwise, we can hide details and you see what you see here. So we'll go ahead and populate. I'm not going to include any of the project dimensions, just the job. We are going to withhold 10% retainage. So I'll go ahead and submit this. So this is configured currently to route to the project manager approval. So right now we cannot edit this because it's in a submitted status. If I go back into our purchase order and go take a look at our job, and we can edit on the fly, but we can see here that our job manager is set to Kyle. So Kyle would have got a notification on his phone or email. He could access that link through, whatever device he's on or logged in as. And I have him available right here. So he could come in. The link would take him directly to this spot in Intacct, and he could decide to view the transaction, or he can bulk select, approve, or view all. I'm going to go ahead and view this transaction here. So we get a quick snapshot of this transaction, any type of change records that are associated with the purchase order. Currently, there are none. The posting details. So if we want that information, the history, so if it has been converted or if there has been change orders applied to it, that would all show up here. So I'll go ahead and approve this transaction. If we were to decline the transaction, we would have to be required to put a comment in. So I'll go ahead and approve that. And then we would come back into our purchase order list, and we would see that it's now in a pending status. So once I convert this to a vendor invoice, I can no longer make edits to it. And you can restrict permissions in order to disallow editing of a purchase order so that all changes are filtered through change orders to require that project manager approval. But you could keep it open to just quickly add another line if we needed to. But again, if we convert this to a vendor invoice and pay it, we'll go ahead and post it, which posting this transaction will make it available in accounts payable bills. Now that it's converted, we can go back to our purchase order and we can see that we can no longer make edits. So if we try to come in here and edit, we don't have the ability to select any of these fields. They're locked down because it has posted to the AP subledger. So now I'm going to go ahead and create a purchase order change order. So if I go down to my drop down and select the purchase order that I just created, it will populate all of the header details that you can see here. We could either adjust the original line, or we would leave that blank if we wanted to add a new line. So I'm going to go ahead and select an item, maybe that we're adding. We're going to say this is going to be 5. I can post this as a quantity or a price conversion type. If I selected price, then this would default, or this would gray out the quantity, and we wouldn't be able to put in a quantity. So we'll go ahead and put this for now. So 2,500, 10% retainage, and we're going to go ahead and submit that as well. So that is in a submitted state. Now, if I come back, Kyle is going to go ahead and get notified. And we can control how we receive those notifications, either per transaction basis or in batches. I'm going to go ahead and approve. If I go back into my transaction now, I can view my original PO here. So you can see that now we can convert it as well to a vendor invoice. If I view it, we'll see that there's a new line. And if we go into change documents, you'll see that there is a posted change order. So we have our change document. We can customize the document sequence here. We can see that the posted change amount was $2,500 and the revised amount is now $4,000. So we can track our commitments in a variety of different ways. So all of our transaction definitions that you see here, we can have different posting effects with each one. We can have them post to a user-defined book, so like a commitment book or a contract book, which helps us give that visibility into those dashboards and those financial reports.